Hi, Cisco.
Good morning. Freaking chilly morning.
You ready to host?
Oh, yeah.
Facebook's already on over there.
Okay,
Dr. Bobo's gonna Zoom,
okay.
and Bobby should be on his way, Marty should be on his way, and Bob Cox is coming at 7.
Okay. Interesting yesterday, huh?
Yeah, Eric's whooped it up, I'm sorry. I was surprised he got it. Good for him.
No, I mean,
All behind the scenes dealing.
yeah.
But snow.
Yeah, it's enough that it can affect the commute this morning. Doesn't look like they did any,
Treatment?
any shoveling or any,
Well, this dusting business is driving people crazy.
Mhm.
But dusting.
But it's a quarter inch of snow that's enough that if it's, if people aren't slowing down and it packs down and forms into ice, it's 24 degrees out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Chilly.
yeah. Mhm. Oh, I said to myself, what am I doing here?
That thought does cross my mind as well.
We could both be somewhere nice and warm. But we
I was
choose.
gonna stay right back in bed.
Mm. What do you want me?
You sit on the end.
I'll sit over here.
No, you're the coach.
Oh.
Sit near the clock to me.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
What's the
Wow.
whole shit? Way over to the right. That goes back to Johnny Cass.
I like it.
And you're on probably on and Drake It Live now. And
Excellent.
you're on YouTube Live
Good morning.
now. So you were down there.
Yeah.
So did they have microphones?
No, they didn't have microphones. That's why there's no audio with the television thing. Probably a good thing that it didn't have audio.
Not their first time at the rodeo.
No, I mean, more work, I think that
Here comes Bobby.
keep
Bobby's
it.
usually right on the dime, man.
Yeah. Well, you definitely had to slow down for the weather this morning.
This must be Marty. Yeah, that's Marty. He's got his Duncans. Hey, Marty, how are you?
Corey Robinson's gonna probably call you sometime today.
Good.
He wants to come in on a Tuesday,
Beautiful.
so I said, sure.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. He said, what day you want? I said, Tuesdays. And he says, oh, I wanna come on. You want with Hoey and everyone? I said, yeah.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Oh, he is. His dad and I have been friends forever.
His dad sure did pave the way, didn't he? Nice guy.
Andy, yeah. He used to have boxing gloves. We used to fight in his backyard. They lived on Kingston Street. next to
No, that
Matthews.
was on Ginsman.
Yep. Right between Matthews and Campus. And then they moved to School Street. He went to the Parkway.
Well, I was surprised to see Corey yesterday in a suit,
Ugh.
in a suit. Marty's giving his tie today.
Me?
Yeah.
I hate dressing up now. I have about 25 sport jackets. I threw a bunch in the, I guess it's Catholic Charities out of St. Marie's. Must have thrown 20 of them out. Some old suits. And,
You gotta move over to waiting on Bobby Cox to come in at 7.
oh, is he?
What's up?
Hey, Bob, how are you?
I lock that door. If I have to go out and unlock it, I will.
Well, Bobby Cox is coming at 7, so go on, Bob.
Unlock it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cox is coming at 7. He might come early.
They were telling me Gary Francis' last day is Friday. I laughed. I said, don't believe it.
Yeah, that's what I said too. I'm like,
That's Gary.
Gary's, old man. But I mean,
I've had enough. I can't do this anymore.
yeah.
Yeah, bye, Gary. What do you mean bye? I'll be back Monday.
Yeah, exactly.
I've heard him tell me that song again so many times. It's
Oh.
the sky is full.
Call me at home. I'm done.
He called you at
Oh.
home?
Months ago. I can't do it anymore. I don't want to come in the morning. Okay. Call Sam, see if you're interested. Then he calls me when Sam contacts me. Well, I changed my mind. I want to keep it.
That's it.
That's so funny.
He wants to exert his power. I don't know. He's a longtime friend of mine, hustling man.
He loves
Thanks, Bob.
his voice.
Yeah.
He
How you guys
doesn't want to disappoint all
The
those.
Saturday night show's great.
Oh, really? I'd have
Sock
to-
hop, yeah.
I'd have to-
Where am I,
Hey,
John?
Bob.
Hey, Marty.
You're gonna sit in the middle over there, Bob.
No, I'm talking about time-wise.
No, Marty
You
said-
got 2 minutes.
Marty should bump over one. Bobby's on the end.
Okay,
Marty,
I'm over
you're
here.
host next week. No, Marty, you move towards Cisco.
Come this way, Mike.
Oh, Cisco.
Yeah, towards me. Sorry.
You know,
Bring your coffee. We have musical chairs this morning.
Okay,
It should be.
Cisco, put it on hold for a second. Marty, next week you're the host.
Okay. Come in with some ideas.
No, it's just you're in charge of the whip. You gotta tell them to shut up or talk or whatever.
kind of bring in the conversation.
The whip. We
That's the way I
we're gonna work
That's the
on
way-
making a little format,
Yeah.
so we have an idea what we.
No notes, never write anything down.
No.
60 seconds.
Here we go,
Myself.
just in time. Thank God I had that auto start in my vehicle, huh? Isn't that beautiful stuff?
Yeah,
I think I belong right here. And then we're good. You got your mic, I got my mic. The roads are a little slick though. I hit a couple of slick spots.
Really?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because of the temperature.
And tomorrow's gonna be really bad, I'm hearing, so.
I thought it's
Ice.
supposed to get warm.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but right now you notice how we got a coat
Yeah.
over something that was just left, so it's in tough shape, especially for tomorrow. If tomorrow happens, don't start your car for 2 days. Stay at home.
There was some de-icing needs
Yep,
this morning.
You're right. I gotta tell Linda.
Starting 7 o'clock tonight, something like that. I
When it
usually
rain, forget that, man.
watch Channel 5. I don't know why, but that's who I like.
Yeah,
The girl with the long neck.
Yeah.
You know who I mean. Oh, yesterday, Marty, there was something else, kid.
We'll get into
Something else, buddy.
that.
It was
I saw
beautiful.
your video. I was up in Ira.
Oh, it
not
was
Ira,
terrible. The
Kia.
video was terrible because I kept getting up and down and,
Yeah,
but it was just the idea. Oh my God.
Cisco, you ready to go?
we're ready to go. Yeah.
Here we go. Your lights are hot.
All right, folks, good morning. January 6th, I will be your host today at the Dawn Patrol, and we'll run into on City Life. Today we have Bobby Hoey with us and Marty Lorrey. And we're really excited, the day after the inauguration of the city mayor at the Lowell Memorial Auditorium. And we probably have a lot to discuss because we've seen something we haven't seen in a long time. It's cold out there. It's 21 degrees. Hopefully it'll be warmer this weekend. I hear Friday's going to be a lot warmer, and it should be different, but be careful. There's a small coat of snow out there that can turn into ice and cause some bad road conditions. So just take your time, warm up your cars, and give yourself plenty of time to get to work. All right, where do we start?
Well,
Marty, did you see the inauguration?
No, I was up at Kia in Nashua having my car serviced. There was a warranty thing called back, so I followed it on a little bit on Bobby's video.
Yeah, Bobby was sitting close to me in the audience, and he's tried his best to be a YouTuber, what they call it, social media person. I think he's doing a pretty good job.
You know how I'd start this today over that conversation is this great time. The after party was the best part for me. I met the Simmons, Harvey Simmons. You remember Gina Simmons?
Oh, yeah.
Old man Simmons, yeah. I just met so many people at the inauguration. It was incredible, and I had a great day. And over at the Jade here, that restaurant, Chinese restaurant, they packed it in there. We had a nice after party. It was like a combination party of Corey Robinson and Eric Gitcher. I sat with Eric's father, talked to him for a long time, Eric's mother. It was just shocking. You'd know more. Marty would know more. The inner works of the city council. But this one is flipped. Do you remember watching Eric always getting only 3 votes on almost everything he wanted to do? This, to me now, this new city council is going to be very supportive. This is how I feel. Remember, this is an opinion show. It's the best thing I've seen in Lowell in a long time, even though I was for Danny Rourke. I'm not going to lie. I was for Danny Rourke because I'm loyal to my friends, and Andy Rourke was related to Danny, and they got my pension, and we fought. We're union people like Jeff Thomas and the rest of them. This is how I really think, but what's going to happen for Lowell is people think Eric knows everything about the city. He sure does. He does. He knows more than most people when it comes to DPWs and all this other stuff. But what Eric really brings, for me, is the schools. I think as a mayor, he's going to be incredible for our schools. I think Liam Skinner was there last night. I even met him, Marty, and he kind of looked happy. You know, I don't know if he knew something before me, because all Eric used to say to me for a few weeks here is, you might get surprised. You might have a surprise.
Well, there was a surprise to certain people on the council. You could clearly see that in their faces. I was like, I guess he didn't know what was going on, or he or she or whoever was up there. But I agree with you. The best thing that could happen that's going to happen for the city. You're going to have someone who really cares about your children, who's going to lead the school committee, hopefully with the change there into a better future. I do love the idea there's talk about a vocational chapter coming into the high school. And we definitely, that's where, if you want the city to get better, that's where it has to start. Has to start in the schools. And early.
Well, I'll make a prediction. Marty, I don't know let's all make a prediction. This is as the new mayor.
I make mine today on Teddy's at 10. I do my yearlies.
Okay, but I'm just going to give you one right now. This is how I feel. I think with Eric Gitcher as our mayor, we're definitely going to really have, how can I put this? Not a lax time, but the meetings are going to go a lot slower. It's just the way Eric is. He's going to go through every detail.
How do you know that, Bob?
I'm just telling you what I think.
Have you seen his car?
No. Which one? I see him in everything. Mustangs.
He doesn't drive a slow car.
No, I know. Oh, yeah, but I'm talking about, he's going to let you talk. Especially if it's important issues and he's gonna hear you out. That guy, I don't know, man. I don't know what he does. I try to find out through Coach Cassidy, Tank Cassidy, everybody knows the wrestling coach out there. I try to get information off him. What is this guy, Eric Itchie, made of? Oh, he's just in, Tom Cassidy said to me, he just wants to stay in shape. Whatever that means. He might be a weightlifter. I don't know his personal life. All I know is I haven't seen anybody in this lifetime work like that young man.
Tommy
telling
Bomel's
you.
here.
Yeah? Cool.
He's on Zoom.
But Marty, you know how a city council can shift real quick?
Tommy, did you shave?
They did.
Yeah? Yeah.
What?
Did you shave?
Yes.
Okay, doesn't look like you did. That's
Oh,
okay.
what?
Look at you.
Can
We
hear
can
you
hear
loud
you,
and
and we
clear.
can see you. You look awesome this morning. Look
Hey,
at you.
Tom.
Finally feel good after about 2 weeks. Getting better.
Yeah, they got you locked up in your room. Hey, don't lie to us. We don't. You get put away.
I'm down in Foxwoods, actually. Just kidding.
You know, it's funny, Tom, the flu has taken a child already in this state.
Wow.
It's taken 3 adults in this state. Serious, it's getting, masking up everywhere.
Yeah.
The staff is anyways, you know.
Well, sure,
I think-
sure.
I
Mass
think,
General did it yesterday.
I think masks should be like clothes optional when you're down Key West.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, and mask up if you want to, mask up if you don't. Then we won't have so many problems.
No, I agree with you on in the fact that it should be optional for you know yourself better than anyone else. And if you feel that your immune system would be better off with a mask, wear the mask. I think we've accepted it as something that's normal, and people shouldn't be afraid to mask up if it's going to help them, and also they're taking consideration of the community. So go mask up, especially, you know, my wife works in the medical field, and yeah, flu is rampant right now, and there's a lot of people sick out there. So, you know, do what you have to do to prevent yourself from getting sick.
When I was at the doctor's office on Friday, they basically said this is all they're seeing is people with flu and COVID. And, you know.
Yeah, you look good, buddy.
Yeah, thank you.
I
Thank you.
got it, but I was
Except I would
in a
swear
week.
you didn't shave. I would swear he didn't shave.
I did.
He has a filter, one of those young filters.
You should see an hour ago. Go ahead.
Hey, Tom,
Yeah.
I know he's a better friend to you than me, but I liked Phil Shea. Sorry for your loss, buddy. I know he's
I just
real
wanted,
close to you.
wanted to say something. A lifelong friend. I've known him since I've told people since I was 14 years old. One of my first campaigns. We were very close. Not as much the last few years. We served in the LRTA advisory committee together, but may he rest in peace. And he had a legacy in this community, and he was quirky at times, but a great guy for the most part, and very charitable. Give you the shirt off his back. So may he rest in peace.
Tom, I remember back in St. Peter's, maybe the 8th grade, maybe the freshman year in high school, you and Billy Welch working
Exactly.
for Phil Shea's campaign.
Yeah.
That far back.
Actually, our first campaign, I was actually in the 8th grade. I think it was Bob McGuire for Congress when he ran against Brad Moss. I got the political sting, you know. So, and I've been involved in a lot of campaigns since then, you know.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you and Billy Welch were there at the beginning, I remember that.
Yeah. So, but we have a new mayor, huh? Gee, that was
Yes.
Yeah, that was a surprise.
So you were sitting at Cisco. You were sitting there yesterday. Could you see did they have microphones? Did they not have the city council?
They did not have microphones. The only one I could ever hear it clear on was when I turned on Teddy's replay of it. But I couldn't hear. They got to go back to City Hall. Why did they leave City Hall? I mean, it was always at City Hall. And I watched the school committee meeting swearing in. And it was clear as a bell. You could hear them all talking and everything. I don't get it. You know.
Yeah. The City Hall, the council chambers, they already have the TV cameras, everything's mic'd up for the meetings, and that's where they have the board meetings. And it might have been because of the size, more people want to go, I don't know.
What they should do is reverse it. swear in the school committee, then do the city council. Because the problem is, logistically, kicking all of Tom Golden's relatives out of the meeting. Hey, school committee's coming in, we gotta make room for the school committee. They all go like, no, we're Tom's relatives. So the people are stagnant, they don't wanna leave the chamber. And I think if they did the school committee first, school committee is a lot more cooperative than the city council.
You
That's
know,
my takeaway.
I think the city did it right this year, to be honest with you.
Couldn't
They
hear
had, well, they had the
Were
city
you
council.
there, Bobby?
I was at the city side, okay, but
You were at the auditorium. Could you hear the city council?
could I hear them?
Could you hear them
Yeah,
when they voted?
clearly. Yeah,
See, that's why you couldn't hear it on LTC. It was
Right.
dead. Yeah.
But what I'm getting to is, I seen the school committee on public TV there, they had it down in the chambers. They're swearing in. I kind of miss having them together because it's just I feel better. It's something
Tradition.
about- Yeah, that's all. But I think they did it pretty well. I mean, come on, we had Father Sonella there. We had, I'm going to say a few names, Steve Gary there, the judge. Oh, yeah, the list goes on and on. I'll wait maybe in a half hour and tell you what the Queen said to me on the outside, Rita Mercier. You know, she's a really pretty woman, still beautiful for her age. Older than me, I know that for sure. But I wanted to make sure I was correct word for word, you know.
Bobby, read this one.
Yeah, good morning. Will it matter? Will it change the, what's that? Averages? Overages at the high school? Will it bring taxes down to the citizens of Lowell? The ball
Two
is,
things.
the
Two
ball,
things.
Not
Does
done
anybody
yet,
say
Tommy,
yes?
not done yet, Tommy.
yeah, the ball,
What's that?
the ball is in Mr. Gitch's court. Only time will tell if he's up for the mayor's job. Oh, he's gonna be a great mayor. And so wasn't Danny. So wasn't Danny. Danny changed the way the whole city operates. How fast that meeting went. I think with Eric, it could be a lot longer.
The big
That's all.
change, and last year we made our predictions on Teddy's inside, and there were a lot of 7-4 votes in the last council. A lot of 7-4. And I predicted they would target at least 2 council seats, the Acre and Belvedere, because they could win them, the other side. Now, what's going to happen is that 7-4 is now on the other side. Tommy had, I think the city manager always had 7 votes, boom. He doesn't have that anymore. Now he has 7 votes that may or may not be with him. The problem for Eric now is Eric's the mayor. He just can't talk during the meeting. He has to step down. And that's a big thing for the mayor, if he steps down and lets the vice mayor take over. But, yeah, there's going to be a change, but the council itself has changed. And now there's 7 votes that I don't know if they're always going to support the manager. And that's where the real shift is.
Yeah.
And, but we'll
See,
see.
The
So
way-
Cisco, you were talking about, you were watching the votes. Now, the first round, do you remember what the tally was for the first round? Because I haven't seen it printed anywhere.
Yeah, there was no majority winner, obviously, because, but I think that the most that Danny got on the first was 4 votes, was what I counted. if
Danny
I
got 4,
recall.
who else got votes?
Vesa had votes at that point too, and I think did Eric come out with a vote that? No,
Yeah.
it was Danny and Vesa. I think
Did
there
Rita
must have been
did Rita
someone
get any?
else there too.
Did Rita
On
get
the
any?
first round, it was Danny had 5, Vesna had 3, and Eric had 3. And then the second ballot, Lee, am I saying the name right? Liang, and who else switched over?
Vesna?
Vesna, yeah.
Yeah, you think that all happened right then and there? They had that fixed the day before or a week before.
That was planned.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
This is done over the years, though, with the city council.
Yeah.
I had heard over the weekend that I knew Danny had 5, Vesna Vesna had no route to 6 votes. It just wasn't there. And I had heard they had reached out to Vesna and asked him to support Eric. And the first ballot they didn't. Surprised me was Melinda Duran. She supported Eric on the first ballot, from my understanding.
She did.
And she did.
Yeah.
And I said, that's smart. She's an attorney, and she's very, very smart. And now there's no question, well, why did you change your vote on the second ballot? She was consistent. And for a new city council, I was impressed when I heard that. But last weekend I had heard rumblings that there was something in play, because there was no way Vesna, and he knew it, was going to get 6 votes. So it was to switch over.
And you saw them all fall in line to give it to Dakota. I mean, not give it to Dakota. You could see that vote was going to happen. Dakota wanted to be vice chair, and that wasn't happening.
Yeah.
So I think McDonough was the key. That I'm not going to use the word double cross, but I'm hearing he told a couple of people he had no problem with Danny being the next mayor. But like Marty, we know things happen, and people talk, and people
absolutely. And he came under a lot of criticism in parts of the media because allegedly I didn't talk to him about it. He came out and said he was going to support Danny, and all of a sudden all the media was on him because he was the 6th vote. He was the one guy that could switch, and he went with Eric, which to me, again, Eric's the mayor, but he can't just speak on any issue now as the mayor. That was key. McDonough winning that race was really key.
Yeah, because I think even being on that show, on John's show, I asked McDonough, I said, what are your toughest votes? Your first votes will be an election of a mayor. And I remember his words exactly. He says, Danny's doing a good job as the mayor. I can't see him. Why not? He would not want to have him continue as mayor. But things happen. We know the game.
It's a ceremonial position. It's a portrait on the wall. There's a lot of honor being mayor. I remember in 2015 they told me Rodney wanted 2 terms in a row, but Eddie Kennedy won it.
Yeah.
And when Eddie Kennedy was done, there was the fight between Bill Samaras and Leahy.
Yeah.
And I was on the radio that morning with Teddy, and John called up and said, I got 5 votes. And as the conversation went on, the high school issue came up, and John said, well, maybe we should have looked at the Hamilton Canal. And I said to Teddy and John, you just lost it. You just lost the mayor's race. The worst political fight in history. Now you just brought it back today in the morning? I would avoided that like the plague. But I thought that cost him that morning, bringing up a 3rd place. But
Now, let me ask you, who you think, because they had to negotiate, it's a give or take to get what you want on the council, right? Who you think's gonna lose more votes over the decision that they made to get Eric as the mayor and Vesna as the vice mayor?
McDonough.
You think McDonough's gonna take the hit on the vote? You don't think? I thought Vesna being the one that reached out to the real socialist left group in the city might get the hit, because they definitely don't like Eric's on decision making on some of the votes that he took in the past. What's your opinion?
Eric speaks his mind, and he's not going to change, and that's what I like about the kid. He's never going to change. He's not going to. What's the old saying? Go along to get along, whatever the old saying is, and he's going to. But like you say, Marty brought up a good point. He's not going to be able to speak as much because he has to keep getting down from that podium every time he wants to speak on an issue, which I saw Danny very rarely do in the last couple of years.
And I'm going to see a change on his tone too, because he's taking a different role. He understands that now he's the spokesperson for the city, and he has to kind of hold back some of his responses and go with the more political response because he's the speaker for the city. I think that might change, you know what I mean? I think that was some of the concerns I heard when I was out and about was they were concerned that he would say something, you know.
Who took the biggest hit yesterday at that inauguration? Definitely city manager.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's not gonna get what he wants now, without a fight, you know?
That goes back to election day. They turned that council around completely from 7-4, all support for the city manager. Now it's 7-4. Those votes are up in the air. He's got 4 solid yeses.
Morning, Mr. Mayor. You want
Beyond
one?
that, I don't know.
I mean,
It's gonna be interesting, like I say.
So, guess who called in, Tom?
Well, I had asked him last night. I sent him a text, and he didn't say yes or no, but we'll see. That's great. That's great.
Guess who's coming right now?
Yeah.
John McDonough with the phone, yeah.
Put him on speaker. Eric, you hearing me?
I can hear you, John.
Okay, good. You're on.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor.
everyone, and Tom, thank you again for the invitation to come in today. I just had to get to work because I took yesterday off, and I just wanted to make sure with the snow that came in overnight, it was no ice there for the students and staff. So, but I thank you for reaching out yesterday.
Sure.
It's a privilege to be the mayor of the city. But, clarifying a couple of things about the process. If anybody wants to take a hit at anybody, it should be take your votes at me. For the people who are upset, I want to tell you one thing. The process has been the same since the invent of Plan E. And people try to get their votes whatever way they do. For Inside Lowell and for the Lowell Sun, they should have known that I don't go to them on anything. I never took out an ad with Inside Lowell. I have never ran to the Lowell Sun with inside information on anything. I don't call people when I'm in executive session afterwards. There's a process. And like you say, if you're looking for a job, Tom or Bob or Cisco, you look and Marty, you look and you say, there's a board of directors that you have to interview with. You would interview with them first rather than going to the public and saying, look what I did, and banging your chest and saying this and that. And I just want to make sure that people know that I did my best for everybody over the last 4 years. I love the city. Dan Rook was an amazing mayor. But I think the joy that every family has been given by their father, their sister, their mother, their being mayor, I think every family should have the opportunity to enjoy. We're under Plan E, and somehow over the last few years, we've forgotten that. The mayor is not a signature contract person. I can't sign contracts that are binding with anybody in the world. Operations goes to the manager. The mayor is here to run meetings. The school committee is a major piece. I look forward to working with them. It's going to be an amazing 2 years. I wish the people who are texting over to others saying, you're going to lose the next election. How could you do this? That's just wrong to do to somebody. If you want to take the shots, take them at me. I'm the one who asked for support. I'm the one who interviewed with each member of the city council that I thought would be objective. Some of them already had their votes up, but we don't talk about that. We don't talk about the piece where people lined their votes even before the election was over. We don't talk about that. We talk about Eric didn't go to the newspaper and Inside Lowell and kiss the ring. Well, you understand one thing. Inside Lowell has an inside track to City Hall. Why would I go to them? There's certain people who are favored. They get positioned because of outcomes. And if people can't understand that, I'm sorry. But Lowell needs to be a place that people have a fair opportunity, and the game isn't done like the good old boys wanted to do it. And I didn't do it that way. I waited till after the election. I spoke to people after the election and just asked for their confidence to be instilled in me. And I'm very, very grateful for that. And I'm sorry to their friends and family who are disappointed. But I think every time somebody's disappointed in this process, and the process needs to change. And I lobbied with Councilor Robinson to change this process, but some of the same people who are upset are the ones who wanted to keep it the way it is.
Eric,
I'm not sure what to say, but I'm very excited to be the mayor. Tom, your kind words, go beyond what you think. because I know where your stance was from the beginning, and I thank you for at least having a level head about everything.
Absolutely, but and that's it. Danny's a friend. He did a great job, and I'm sure you're going to do a great job. But you're right, people. And I was telling my wife last night. Been involved in this game for a long time. These mayor's races, people didn't talk to each other for a long time over the thing. It was horrible. That shouldn't be. I mean, you lost. And there's no doubt. And you're not going to change, which is good. You shouldn't change. You've always been the same way. And that's what I always call George Taylor the Eric gets you a drinker, because he won't change. He speaks his mind and he doesn't care. So
Eric can do that because Eric has the support of the voters, and you could see that last year. And if there was any discontent, I think it came in the first year of the last council. There was a lot of 7-4 votes. Eric, you follow it. My predictions, I talked about them early last year, where they were going to try to flip the Acre and Belvedere. The city's more than the 11 city councilors. There's people out there who follow it, they're citizens. And I thought there was a lot of disconnection with the voters on a lot of those 7-4 votes. And I predicted that it would switch, and it did. It changed on election day. So that goes back to your first year. It's not McDonough or any one person. There's people who weren't happy with a lot of those 7-4 votes, and they came out and voted. And the council flipped. That's where it is.
Yeah,
People are already talking that there was a deal made now, and it's BS. That Vesna's getting it next time because all these people. There could be 3 new councils again in 2 years.
Right.
What happened? 3 new councils. Things could change, but they're saying, the deal was made. These people are going to go to Vesna.
Tom, can I ask you a question?
Let Eric talk.
Sure.
Tom, here's the question for you. The people who are saying this in private, are they fans of the person they talk about? Probably not. And that's the problem, is anything to create diversity and division between people is the issue. And that's what they keep trying to do, because this is about their power and not what's best for the city. So I think when people sit back and they understand, look, Lowell needs to change. It needs to adapt with the current structure of other communities and look at function over friendship. And I've said that from the very day I got elected. I can be your best friend, but if something doesn't work, I'm going to tell you no. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you're no longer my friend. I'm sorry whatever way you want. But at the end of the day, the function is for the future of the city. It's not for my friend. My friend will be fine. I promise you that.
And that was, I believe, I'm not sure if I read it in Nutta's column or the Lowell Sun column. That was all spin from the Lowell Sun, or one of them, saying that the deal was made for 2 years from now. But you're right. You go on. It's all over. You won fair and square. That's the way it is. Like I say, I've seen this so many times.
Can I get in there for a minute? I want to say something before he hangs up about your party.
Bobby, I'm sorry.
That's all right, about your party yesterday. I want to thank you for bringing the invitation right over to my house. I had the best time. I met your whole family. They were awesome. There was a few rumors that started in the place because, people were drinking sodas. They're having a good time. And the one I picked up on the most was, hey, I can't wait to see who he puts on subcommittees. He'll probably put Belinda Giron in charge of the finance subcommittee. And when I heard that, I cracked up, But I'm going to talk about this McDonough kid when you hang up. He was at your party. I'll tell you some nice stuff about him during the show later on.
Eric, before you leave, the history of the Lowell City Council and the mayor's race has always been about people making things down the line. Everyone wants to be mayor. Not everyone has a route to 6 or 5 votes, whatever the majority is. Not everyone has that. So they'll come over and they'll start talking about, well, if I talk, and we'll come to an agreement. And then subcommittees has always been another thing that people have thrown their support behind. I'll support you for mayor. I'd like to sit on the subcommittee. And I don't know if it happened or it didn't, but I'll tell you one thing. It's been happening in my lifetime constantly. So I wouldn't let it bother me one way or the other.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
For the last month, Marty, I have sat down with each of the councilors who I thought were not already committed, because as you read, I thank Inside Lowell for one thing. They told me where everybody stood. I didn't even realize that, where people's votes were and who already committed and that stuff. Because I think that when you do that, you don't give the opportunity for a fair interview process. And like every job that's out there in the world, if you get 11 people who apply to the job, 10 are going to be unhappy.
Ask him,
And
is there
their
a
family
meeting
members
tonight?
are going to
When's
be
his first
unhappy.
meeting?
And I think that that's what this comes down to. I knew going in that this would be very controversial to some, but at the end of the day, I look at it as, I believe I will do the best job I can. I hope that I can live up to Sakari and Danny, the things that they did. I think they were very good mayors. But again, I go back to the original statement, is that I think more families should be able to enjoy that mayor's position. I'm excited to be the mayor for the city of Lowell, and I thank all of you. There were many days where you were saying something on the show, and I wanted to come in and just say something, but I kept my mouth quiet so that I could continue the interview process with people.
Is Lee going to be in the mayor's office with you, your assistant?
I'm definitely going to need someone to sweep the floors.
He'll be the sergeant of arms.
Oh, come on, I love you, brother.
Marty, read these two, and then Bobby's gonna ask him about his next.
Hopefully, it won't be the good old boys club when you have a difference of opinion on the city council. It's only good for the people of Lowell. In regards to Mr. Hoey about the meetings running slow with Eric, it should run at a slow pace and try not to get it done in record time.
No.
I'm going to try to let people speak, and you know, if you took the time out of your day to come down, we'll adhere to the 3-minute rule, but we'll also let people speak. And I think Danny did a really good job at that. I mean, I don't know what people think, but I thought the meetings went extremely well. I liked both times I was on with Sakari Chow and also Danny. I think they both went well. And Danny's a fabulous person, and you know, sometimes everybody wants something, and I think that the want that I wanted, I'm very proud of it, and I thank all of you.
Eric, two things.
Everybody has their own style. I mean, Rodney Elliott had his own style. Samaras, Kennedy, Rourke. Now you're gonna have your own style and do it your way. You know.
Eric,
Yeah, and it won't be the right style for everybody, and that's the good thing about life is, you know, I had one person say to me, Eric, you know, from when you first started to where you are today, you've become less aggressive, and it comes off differently, and you know, I think that passion is always still there. People call it aggression, but it's a passion, it's a love for everybody, and I just want the best for everybody. There's really nothing in this for me. I don't get paid. I come to do it because I coached baseball with little kids, and I loved it, and I wanted more for everybody in the city. That's why I ran for city council.
Eric, two things real quick. One thing is, I sat right behind Cisco at this inauguration, and you should have seen what happened to him. When you got elected mayor, he jumped straight out of his seat. I couldn't believe it. It was funny. I wish I videotaped
He's always been an asset
Yeah.
for me, and I can't thank him enough. He's been a really good asset for me and my family, my campaign, and him and Laurie have been amazing people for us, and I can't thank him enough either.
And John McDonough had a question for you. What was it, John?
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Is there a meeting tonight?
Oh, is there-
When is the first meeting?
Is there a meeting?
His first meeting.
Is there a meeting
Yes.
tonight?
Yes, there's a meeting tonight, and there's a school committee meeting tomorrow night.
So your first meeting's tonight in an ice storm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, the plow trucks have to go to work.
All righty.
Milton have to go, Eric.
Eric,
I think
Cops
we
have to
always
go.
to work.
Eric, thank you for calling in this morning. We appreciate it. Good luck.
Good luck.
I think you're going to be a great mayor. And, you know, thank you for even sharing how your process went.
Anything
And
else
the
on the
fact
line?
that you went out and treated it like a job interview, and you personally talked to all the councilors that you thought would vote for you. That was good inside information as someone here in Lowell. So, thank you.
Any more thoughts from Eric before he skedaddles?
One thing not so much for Eric, I want to congratulate the new city councilor, Belinda Joanne, who's from Belvedere, where I am, she's my city councilor. Everyone was counting votes. I had her in business, and she came out on the first vote and supported Eric Gitchier. And then the second vote, she supported Eric from, that's my understanding. She's an attorney, she's a brilliant individual. She talked about consistency, and boy, from the first vote she took, it was consistency. So congratulations there.
Has he heard from the
Marty,
manager?
I could say this to you. I've interviewed for some of the top jobs in government, and she interviewed me pretty good. It was a thorough interview process where she wanted to know a lot. So I think you have an excellent representative who really will do their homework and make sure that Belvedere is well represented.
John McDonough had one more question for you. Has the manager reached out to you yet?
Oh yeah. He that morning, even before the vote, he said, "I'm sorry, I'm going to miss today," and he said, and I said, you need to take a vacation. You need to be with your family, and I'm very happy for you. Then he sent me a nice picture of the sun in the warm weather, and I sent him one of the snow. And he says, "Oh."
Let me tell you.
He's an amazing guy, and we'll do well over the next couple
Eric,
years.
let me tell you one last thing. Your speech yesterday, the way you talked about the help, the staff, from the DPW up to the lawyer for the city, it was incredible, buddy, incredible.
Yeah. We are very fortunate to have the people around us we have. We may disagree on things, but I can always still smile knowing that people are in the right place, and we will get things done for the best interest of people.
Eric, one of the things Eddie Kennedy taught me when we were on the council, there's a lot of, I've always considered the council being like the Roman Colosseum, where they throw you in there and expect you to fight. But you have to get along. And Eddie Kennedy would say to us after the meetings, we all got to go out for beer, we got to talk about the Red Sox, the Patriots, anything else but politics. But as a council, we have to get along and work together. And I always thought Eddie Kennedy, the late Eddie Kennedy, was right about that. And I always give Eddie credit for trying to build a team like that. So
that was the one text I missed yesterday, was Ed Kennedy's. Every time I got elected, he was one of the first people always to text over, "Congratulations, if you need anything, reach out." And yesterday was a hard day on that end when you think about the people we lost. Phil Shea was another one who would send over something that was always very nice. And, when you lose a part of Lowell like that, they're very hard to replace, and if ever you could replace them. The people who grew up in it, they loved it, they gave back to it, and we're a very fortunate community.
And you talk about Phil Shea, and I go back way back with him, and he was one vote away from being the mayor, he was one vote away from being the city manager, and I'll never forget his first term. Nobody fought like cats and dogs more than him and Brendan Fleming, and Phil Shea's first vote for mayor was Brendan Fleming.
Yeah.
Just left everything in the council chamber. They didn't take it out of the council chamber.
Right.
And that's the best part. You can see on your social media that family members take it probably much harder than the candidates do, and that's the hard part of all of this. We all love our family, and we lean on them in the good and the bad times, and my family has been amazing, like every other candidate and elected official's family, and I think that that's the hardest part of all of these jobs, is watching your family go through the highs and lows.
Yeah. Well, good luck.
Well, thank you guys, and I hope you have a great show, and I thank you for everything you've done for me for the last 4 years. I am really honored to be the mayor of the city.
Hey, we might talk about you too, just so you know, okay?
I hope you continue.
Good luck, Eric.
I hope you continue to challenge me, beat me up, and I will listen, and those are the constructive criticisms that can change our ideas and our thoughts. So have a great day, and thank you again.
Congratulations, Eric.
Congratulations.
Congratulations,
Thank you,
buddy,
Ron.
yeah.
Thanks
yeah.
for calling in.
All right.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, Tom,
Yeah, buddy.
the more I see you on this screen, the more I think you didn't shave either, buddy.
Oh my God!
I don't think so.
You can see reflection here. Maybe you get better lighting. Better lighting maybe or something. Let's see. Does that look better?
No, it's the big light behind you. That's what's doing it.
You know, when it
Put
comes...
too shade on your face, but that's okay. We're
That's
not in the way
that's
you
the
want
good
to.
word, man. I know in the past it's always been.
I do have a text here that asking are you wearing pants, but I'm not going to air that one.
Yeah.
What's that?
Nothing. You know, Tom, you're gonna have to talk to one of your grandkids to set your media room up so you have better lighting. Isn't that the thing that Michael Jackson was always concerned with
It's
lighting?
actually at my wife's office. You know, she has her office, I have an office. So, you know, so does the mayor, in the past it's always been that does the mayor get to pick his own secretary, or does it usually just stay the same? I know years ago it was the
The mayor picks their own secretary.
Okay.
But I think the past 15, 20 years, they've been pretty consistent, just keeping the same person.
Yeah, what's the gentleman's name? He seems very nice. I met him once.
Eric is a different cat, though. And I'll tell you why. Eric cannot collect his per diem for being mayor. So that will
At
open...
this time.
What's that?
At this time.
At this time, he can't collect that money. So, you know, does Eric look out and say, do we bring a second person in, maybe a high school, college kid for training? Give someone an opportunity to come in and see how government works. You know, that's just how Eric works, you know?
John made a good point as of now. When you said earlier, Marty, the votes are going to turn over to 7 or 4. It's going to be the other way. Maybe they'll get him to get paid and get him to get the stipend. He should.
Well, it's not so much for the council. It has to go to the state, from what I understand. They did it in the past. I think Rick DeYoung got paid. I'm not sure. He worked at the school department. But this has been something that's been talked about over the years.
Lynch screwed we always paid everybody. Then Lynch came along and said, nay, 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 and he screwed some of the city councilors.
But I don't think the state allows it to be done. I think they've had homeroom petitions at the Lowell City Council where they sent in to pay their comrades.
Look, the state is letting the state police sleep in their cruisers on the median strip.
Hey, John, that's why there's elections.
The laws have gone right out the window,
And
Mike.
as long as people don't
Oh, that's beautiful.
for the governor and they don't vote for state rep and state senator, this is going to continue.
Yeah, I believe you should get paid. You work, you
I
should
do
get paid.
too.
I mean, simple as that. If you're a worker, you get paid. And yeah, they should probably push a home petition because it is.
They have.
It is a law.
Can you imagine? Okay, I know that Golden's probably watching down in the sunshine this morning. Hello, Tom. Hope you're having a good time. Well-deserved vacation. What are you gonna do with this guy? You're gonna come back and say, "I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor, the state says we can't pay you." He was told to find a way to pay everybody on the council. That was my takeaway from the meeting.
You can ask them to find different ways, but if it used to be the same way with the retirement board. People would come in, and why it came before the council, we didn't have a vote, but you would send it to the retirement. And there's state laws, and I think it's very unfair as a former public employee. I know all three of us were former public employees. And there's restrictions when you run for office, and there's restrictions when you get into office. And I don't believe they should be there because they're not there for other people.
And Marty, I'll go right back to the speed of the roads. Going up to Nashua, you're on Route 3. The speed limit's 55. The speed limit, and no one gets pulled over for doing 75.
No, it's 80. You gotta do 80.
So
80's
Route
the
3,
speed
the
limit.
speed limit's 55.
That new speed limit.
So look at this, Eileen Del Rossi sent this in, she didn't sign it. So if you like Eileen Del Rossi, she sent this. If you don't, this came anonymously this morning. This is the first and second vote for mayor. First round, Sakari Chow voted for Danny Rourke. John Dakota voted for Danny Rourke. Eric Gitchier voted for Vesna. Duran voted for Gitchier. Liang voted for Noon. McDonough voted for Gitchier. Mercier voted for Rourke. Noon voted for Noon. Gitchier voted for Gitchier. No, I'm sorry. Robinson voted. Corey Robinson voted for Gitchier. Mayor Rourke voted for himself, and Kim Scott voted for Mayor Rourke. Second round, it looks like my takeaway from this is Chow voted for Rourke the second time. Dakota voted for Rourke the second time. Gitchier got
His own.
his own vote. Belinda Duran voted for Gitchier. Sidney Liang voted for Gitchier. Sean McDonough voted for Gitchier again. Rita Mercier stuck with Danny Rourke. Vesna Noon changed to Eric Gitchier. Corey Robinson stayed with Eric Gitchier. Danny Rook stayed with himself. And Kim Scott stayed with Danny Rook. So that's it. Thank you for the votes. Eileen, appreciate that information. Thank you.
I think they should forget about all the finger point right now. Tommy Bomil, how often has these things been done over the years that you know about, where people who don't have a fifth vote or a sixth vote will slide their support over to an individual who can win? You know?
Phil Shea,
Yeah.
1972, he could not win, and on the 106th ballot, he withdrew and threw support. Alan Sampson consistently had 4. He couldn't pick up, he knew, and he could be a fifth, and he made her the mayor. So that's the number one I can remember standing out. And
It's been going on for years.
Well, now,
You know.
But going on for years, Marty, didn't the council used to say, I changed my vote to Gitchier?
No, you would have a second roll call. You would have a second, you have a roll call,
No,
just like you have it on vote.
I've heard them in the past. And
Right.
please correct, because you were a city councilor, I have heard them, before the votes are tallied, they interrupt the clerk and say, I want to change my vote.
No,
Johnson.
I've never seen that. I've
I
only seen it.
have, Marty. I have.
Really?
Yeah. Before they tally the vote, they'll say, no, they didn't make it unanimous, and that's again, not right, but what can you do?
Yeah, I've never seen them do that. I've always seen them go to another ballot, and
My favorite story of being the mayor, of wanting to be the mayor, was I forget what year, and Steve Jenman walked into City Hall that morning, thinking he had the 5
Yeah.
votes, walked in, and Larry Martin said, no, I'm done, I'm voting for Bud Caulfield. And it was, I don't know if it was a double cross, but I think what happened was Jenman was being cocky about the whole thing, and I have the votes, and Martin didn't like that. He was being pressured, so that's how Bud Caulfield became mayor.
Yeah, but that's back in the days that we had a lot of leaking going on. A lot of leaking. The Lowell Sun would know all about things before you even went
Well,
home.
there was a way that got done, Bobby, okay? Very few people know that there was a mobile telephone taped to a table underneath the table that they used for the executive room conference that they would have off public. They're going to run down the hallway to the mayor's reception room. There was a cell phone connected to someplace taped to underneath that table.
I never saw it and I never heard that.
I
Well,
never
you-
heard of that.
Ever look under the table?
I never saw it and I never heard it.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
No, I know there's been leaks.
Marty, I gotta look for a picture of those monkeys.
I don't know how many times
See
in
no
my
evil.
life I turned on the radio on Wednesday morning and basically heard what they were talking about in executive session, so.
Well, it's kind of like this, when you get in your car, do you check every time to make sure there's no gun under the seat?
I don't put one in the seat. I don't.
I understand that, but do you check to
No.
make sure somebody didn't do that on your behalf? And just to think, check under the table. You'd be
Check under the
surprised.
table.
Check under the table. Like everybody's aware, Facebook Live stays running probably 5 to 10 minutes after the show's gone. It's
Yeah.
still running.
Yeah.
Pick up a lot of good stuff if you, I'm gonna see if they say anything.
Yes.
And sometimes
yeah.
we do.
But the real changes that the city council, in my opinion, that 7-4 that was a strong support for the manager is now gone, and I had asked some old timers after the election, I had predicted the Acre and Belvedere would switch, and they did switch. The other side grabbed that. But McDonough, that race surprised me. But my question was, Johnny Dakota, one of the nicest guys in the city, involved in all the charities. I mean, the guy is just a walking ambassador of goodwill. And he came within 35 votes of losing to a Democratic Socialist in the Highlands. I was blown away by that. So is that a reflection on the manager or a reflection on the groups who want change in the city?
I just have to say something about John Dakota during the election. I was up at the daily school where his votes come in, and he was there hugging everybody that came into that place to vote. That he worked his brains off that day. Yeah.
Well, he had to. I think going to Marty's question in regards to the socialist movement, I think they engaged a good new group of voters, young voters that are going out and voting. So, I mean, if you're not going to go and vote and someone goes out and votes, whoever has the most votes is going to get their candidate elected. And you can see it happening throughout the country right now.
Yeah.
Look at New York, on Maldonado. That mayor was pretty much elected by a group of young voters, looking at the stats.
The guy won fair and square. Give him 6 months.
Oh, yeah, no, I that's what I say. You know, no one wants to lose, okay? And you know what I say? No one wants to take medication. You take your pill, you swallow it, you get over it, and then you go back and you see what you did wrong. If you didn't like the results, you change your strategies and you work, but you have to get back. You can't just take your ball and run away. You got to get in there and play with the team that's formed. You know what I mean?
In the past 20 years, I was a Democrat, and I saw the transformation of the party in the past 20 years. The young Democrat socialists, we have elections this year for governor, and you have to get 15% at the convention. They're going to flood these early meetings to become delegates. So when they go to the convention, the Democrat socialists are going to run the convention. They've been doing it now for probably the past 10 conventions. And that's where you get the Maura Healeys and all of these left. They go down and they have the support at the convention. And to Cisco's point, they work their tail off. They're out there dropping leaflets. They're making phone calls. They work very hard to win these elections. And right now, the two leading Democrats in the country are Bernie Sanders and AOC.
Exactly.
And, while everyone else is talking about different pointing fingers and indictments, they're talking about jobs, housing, retirements. That's where they're winning. So it's going to be interesting this year.
Yeah, I believe in that group of people you talked about. I believe as time goes on, AOC will get strong.
Yeah, she may be the next candidate.
I think, honestly, I think the Democratic Party is going to go into that socialist Democrat. I think they're going to take over the party. They're there now. You see it going, happening throughout the country, and they're strategically going for local elections, and they're placing their people young because they know they're young. There's a lot of 25-year-old kids out there that think they can run the country, and they're taking advantage of the situation, and they're placing these people in positions that going to lead them to have the power to make that decision down the road. It might not happen overnight, but I guarantee in the next probably 5 years, it's going to happen pretty quick. 5 years is not a lot of time for ideology to take over in this country. I mean,
back in the 1980s and 90s, the Socialist Party had come to and I'm trying to think of the president of the Socialist Party. They could not win an election, and they knew that because they said socialist. They wanted to emerge themselves with a party, and they picked the Democrats. And that goes back to probably the early 1990s. And they get in that party, and these 30 years, old people you're talking about, people in their 20s, that they're putting in positions of people who cannot find job and they're living at home with their parents because they can't. They're the ones who are going to fire up the change.
Yeah, they're rebranding the Democrat name, and it's taken over. I mean, they have no problem right now. You see it now on the media, on social media. I'm a socialist Democrat.
That's what they run as.
Yeah, and they're
very proud of it.
Yes.
Yeah. So
yeah.
That's why hey, Tom, when I think of you, I think of today, because of the mayor's race, I think of Ned Tarmey. Imagine if Ned was here.
Oh, man.
Bobby, that might
It might have been different if he was around. It might have turned another outcome. Hey, does anybody know why Connie Martin wasn't at the swearing-in? It was a health issue. I watched it. She
maybe
wasn't
she's
there.
vacationing with the manager.
Oh, okay, all right.
Excuse me, I'm going to get coffee.
Wow. Yeah, the schools are going to be in pretty good shape, I'm telling you right now, because you're picking up, out of 7 people, you're picking up Eric Gitcher and you're picking up Danielle McFadden. It should be a plus.
what if they don't get the money?
Yeah, well, that's another story.
That's the whole thing.
It's always about money, you know that, anyways. But
and they have to come to the city for money. And Jerry Nutter, who follows this much more closely than I do.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
loves that.
He's got a lot of training on it will tell you that the school department does not get its fair share every year. And then you get the city manager and the council, who have probably a $635 million budget this year. They've got budget police, fire, and then the school department comes in, we need more money, and we need this. Then there's, one thing I'll say this about and you said on the school committee.
Don't let me interrupt you, right, but it's all about maintenance of effort. All of it is, yeah.
But the school department does not have to vote on taxes increases. They do not have to, they vote on their own budget, but they do not have to vote on tax increases. And to me, that's where you look at the city council, the fights always come over money.
Well, I'm gonna guess the genius of the new mayor will have a joint meeting of both, and that'll be in the agenda. Put the taxes up or put the taxes down.
Taxes are going up.
When you have a combined school committee and city council meeting, I think that's the way he's gonna shave it. So the school committee has to say, present.
Well, they can't vote on the budget, but they can sit there, and I don't know if they're gonna show up at the council chambers to sit there and listen on a budget they can't vote on, that they, like Bobby said, maintenance of effort. I've been hearing my whole life that it's overblown, that the school department's not getting their money. And Jerry Nutter is, I give Jerry credit. Boy, he does his homework. And he'll tell you how much to the dime that they should be getting every year.
Well, Marty, you look at the job they do at the Rogers School across the street. That's the best thing that ever happened to me. They put the Rogers School across the street from my house because I get to see what's going on over there. And the city pays somebody to snow plow the sidewalk completely around the South Common. That comes out of the school department's budget. That's maintenance of effort. We never had that before, this maintenance of effort. Because Marty used to go sled on the South Common. I would go sled on the South Common. The only way you get there is you had to walk down South Street on the hot top.
You climbed over it, yeah. It's
there was no sidewalk done.
There's an agreement in the city on what maintenance of effort is, and one of them is the plowing of the parking lots and all of the schools.
Well,
that's part of maintenance of effort.
But Marty, if I'm paying your snowplow driver, shouldn't I have to say what gets plowed? Now, shouldn't the school department have a say what's plowed?
Well, they do. Well, they want the parking lots plowed and everything. Plus, they have their own custodians. And again, it comes down to labor agreements on who takes care of what. So,
We're going to break in 60 seconds, Bob.
But that maintenance of effort has always been tricky. Bob, you saw it as a school committee man.
Like you said, Jerry Nutter is number one with that issue. He knows most of that issue.
Yeah, and Jerry has sat down with CFOs in the city and managers and actually pointed where they're wrong. And I don't know if it's done any good, but Jerry is that sharp on it. Hi, Bob, how are you?
That issue kind of bloomed when Kevin Murphy was the city manager, because that's when Dr. Kafawi mentioned things about maintenance of effort.
Right.
And he didn't like it on the city side, and Kafawi, I knew it. When he said it, I said that Kafawi's a great guy too, Dr.
He pulled the
Kafawi.
police out of the city schools, didn't he?
I said to him, you know what, you're done. See you later. I did. I said that to the man personally.
That's my alarm, Bob, 60 seconds.
We'll be back.
Yeah.
Morning, John.
Good
Morning, Bob. How are you? Good to see you.
We'll be back, thanks.
We're taking a break.
And all we have to do now is all our chairs need to touch. Okay.
I'm doing a bathroom real fast. Happy New Year. Good, you're looking good.
You all right?
Yeah,
Let me bring it over to you. So.
Good, Bob. Nice to see you. Happy New Year.
Robert, how you doing? I'm doing good, buddy. Doing good. You got the Golden Gloves coming up, huh?
There's one, yeah.
You guys get the parking lot for that?
I know, for 6 years. Yeah. And I'll tell you what,
I think he's gonna have you come in here.
yeah, it was found money for us. Jarvis had been doing it. It was Mr. Jarvis. He was proud, I really know, but started doing it back like in early 90s, late 80s, whatever, and giving it away to a few charities every year.
Yeah.
Like we do one, I think they did one for the Boy Scouts, a couple went down to the YMCA. the big one every year for Boston Park.
See that drop before they had? Oh, the water.
So when we first moved in, I showed up one night, like in December, before we started going. There were parking cars in the parking lot. I pulled in, John, he's kind of working forever, Martin.
Yep.
Was out there collecting money, and I had only met him once. He goes, $20. I go, $20 for park here. I said, I just rented this thing from Peter Jarvis. He goes, oh, I've never seen you in a dealership.
Yeah.
Anyway, they had been doing it until after like 3 months. I said to Peter, you do this all the time? He goes, yeah, you know, we're giving away the nonprofits. I go, I don't know, but if I owned a business and I could generate revenue for one of my tenants, make sure I get rent on time, I would make sure that I get my rent on time. He goes, so you want one of the nights? I go, no, I want them all. So he said, I was wondering how much they pay for that. So we've been doing it since, and you know what, honestly, when especially during COVID, we couldn't produce any money. That puts us in like anywhere between $35,000 and $45,000 a year. He just got 3 or 4 months rent.
He's as generous, Salvation Army, I think they do one of the parking lot nights, and then he used to do the drive at the,
Driven to Gift.
yeah, Driven to Gift. And, just a generous guy.
The whole family, Rich, Daily Water now, yeah.
That piece of property,
Yeah.
I don't think they can build on it because of the walls.
Yeah, they're gonna build on it.
Oh, are they?
Yeah,
Good.
yeah, Daily would have wanted, it's about one hit.
Yeah.
Well, you're here 30 minutes,
What's that?
you're here 30 minutes. We're gonna promote hockey.
Whatever you want to do, yeah, hockey, it's the main thing.
Yes,
I don't need to leave at 7:30 unless you need me out of here. Whatever you want to do, John, fine.
Oh, but you'll let them pick on you.
He's zoomed
He's
in.
zoomed
Zoomed in, right? He just shaved this
I'm
morning.
surprised he's not
He
there.
didn't shave this morning.
Geez, I wore my Irish knit beaters too, Tommy. Hey, Tom, we got Texas Roadhouse tonight. It's doing a benefit to the bridge club.
Really? Cool.
Like 20% of everything they take in to the bridge club tonight. This is the second one that's done.
Great, that's great, that's
Yeah.
great. Yeah. Hey, can we call the new mayor one of the little sun things or something? I thought those were supposed to light up.
No, that's the backside.
They only do one?
No, you're looking at the backside of the light.
Oh.
All right, we're back here. It's on Bobby on Hoey's with us, and Marty Lorrey, and myself is the host today, Cisco Maldonado, and Tommy Bomo is on Zoom, and Bobby Cox just joined us. I don't see his name. Is his name up there yet? No. Producer, let's go. You're falling asleep there. Good. See,
I love this.
Cisco should be the mayor. Come on, let's go.
No, I don't want that job. That's a lot of work. But welcome back. We have a lot to discuss. Yesterday I found out our new mayor for the city. We're really excited about it. And I was looking at social media this morning, and I mean, it seemed like most of the people are happy with the choice and are looking forward to movement towards a better direction or something different in the city. I'm really excited that Eric is going to be running the meetings for the city school committee. I think if there's anything that we can do for this city, I think it starts with the education of the kids. That board changed. You got McFadden on there, and I'm looking forward to seeing them be more active and get our kids the best education that money can buy and be offered in the city. Especially where you got UMass here and you got all these other great schools, Middlesex Community College. Our kids should be prepped up and push forward to higher education, because they're the ones that are going to bring back the big dollars into the city. You hope you have a gem that goes out there and becomes the next Elon Musk, you know what I mean? And doesn't forget where they came from.
Or Ted Leonis.
Yeah.
Ted Leonis is a billionaire and he's from Lowell.
Yeah.
I classmate of mine at Lowell High.
Yeah,
We used-
yeah, he graduated with you, Tommy.
Yeah, great guy.
Yeah.
Great guy.
I didn't think he was that old. Jeez.
You know,
Tommy didn't shave today.
Oh, is that what it
That's
was?
what it is.
not to change the subject, but my family's had drug issues. My family's had alcohol issues, okay? And I've been around for 71 years, and alcohol is basically still in the lead of destroying families, in my opinion, okay? And the gentleman next to me here, Bob Cox, I can't thank you enough for what you're just doing. Because you hired my buddy. I love Mike Riley. Mike Riley, best wrestler around, man. He was the best. But I just think it's the most important thing going on in our city is to try to help people get off booze and off drugs, whatever you're on. But alcohol, to me, has always been the leader. That's just my family. I look at my whole family and the history of it, and alcohol's done a lot of damage, Bob.
Yeah, it certainly has, Bob. You're right. I think it's a sign of the times too. Is your age, my age. Alcohol, I think, was more ingrained in our upbringing. I know it was in mine. That's what I aspired to do with my friends in high school, my friends in college. With drinking age was 18 back then. Not that really mattered, but it's a different world now. And I just heard a stat yesterday. A friend of mine from Florida that runs a treatment center down there said they had just seen a stat that said fentanyl death right now is the second leading cause of death in the United States. I don't know if that's true or false. I didn't see that published, but I was told that yesterday. But I wouldn't be surprised. But alcohol still is at the core for people of all ages, really. We see it every single day, people coming through. And, like I said earlier, the age thing, I think, plays into it a bit. Although, you know what? You still see people, Vietnam vets, hooked on heroin.
Yeah.
And you know what? I heard somebody make a statement. I just was telling somebody this yesterday. This is really pathetic. But I was talking to a guy maybe 3 or 4 months ago. This gentleman had been coming to meetings, getting some help, was doing really well, became a recovery coach, and then he relapsed. And that was a couple of years ago, and he's been struggling to get back. And so I saw him a couple of months ago, and I got him into Baldpate up in Georgetown. And when he was waiting for the car to pick him up, I said, what's going on? What's up with you? What are you doing? Is it heroin? The statement he made, he goes, you can't even buy good heroin anymore. Everything's fentanyl. And I was like, did you just really say that? You can't buy good heroin anymore? Everything's synthetic. Everything's been man-made. It's cheaper, and it's all about money. But to hear a statement like that, you can't even buy good heroin anymore, it's like, wow, eye-opening. But to your point, Bob, I agree with you. I mean, especially for myself and people in my age group, it seems that alcohol seemed to be the thing that we're all drawn to. It was everybody party around.
I got a question. Bobby and I all of us were talking last week, and I named all the bars in just back central where Bobby and I grew up. Mm-hmm. There were no cars, people walked to work, and especially around here, you didn't have a lot of vacation money. Everyone went to the bar after work. You get out of work at midnight down at Macon, you went to the bar downstairs. In the infusion, the drinking age was 18. Now, there's not as many bars. How has that changed? I could see it before you were drawn into that life, or there's a hereditary also aspect, I think. But now, I just don't get it today.
I think
Go ahead. I think it's hard to own a bar, number one.
Oh, yeah, it is, for sure.
Oh, it's awful.
Especially if you're an alcoholic.
Yeah.
But I think, a lot of it had to do with the drunk driving laws getting tightened up, and that happened. I remember when we first opened Coils in 2002. The drunk laws, they were there, but everybody reminisced about the old cops that would take you home. Right. They pulled you over and you had beer in the car, they'd take it from you. And it was like a running joke, And then when they started to track the fatalities, they really started to take it serious, and that's what changed the whole. And I don't know if that points to what you're talking about, Marty, but I mean, something caused that mindset to change, although there's a significant portion of society that still does that every single day.
Really?
And that's what keeps the bars open.
Yeah, but the stats on recently said there's a downswing of alcohol use in the States right now. The younger generation is not drinking as much as the past
And
generation.
you know what's interesting too, you say that, is you notice the non-alcoholic beer has taken a huge market share of the sales of alcohol-related products.
Really?
It's huge. It's my daughter actually works for a distributor, but that's a published fact. Looked into that. Like they're coming out with these the mocktails. I mean, they open in bars in Boston. All they serve is mocktails.
Yeah.
I don't fully get that, but you're walking in to go out to a bar and they're making their whole drink menu. Nothing has alcohol in it.
Is it because the younger generation now smokes marijuana? It's more acceptable. I mean, but which I honestly, as a police officer for 29 years, I would rather deal with someone who smokes marijuana than drinks alcohol.
Yeah.
I mean, I never had to fight someone that was smoking marijuana, but man, did we get into some battles with people under the influence of alcohol. And for some reason, very strong people, and people get us on video doing that. It's not pretty. It isn't pretty.
Yeah.
Law enforcement isn't pretty, folks. So, but yeah, we've always had problems with people with alcohol more than marijuana.
To Bob's
Might
point,
be a
though,
good point about being less bars, but also, I don't know about what you guys do, Bobby, but a lot of these places now close early. They don't want that after 10 o'clock, after 11 o'clock business, the last call, places would be open for last call. And drink it, I don't know who stays open till 2 o'clock, maybe O'Hara's, but I don't know what time. But I look up, like, for example, Owen and Ollie's, I think they close at 10 every night, maybe 11 on weekends. They don't want that after hours crowd, as they say,
Tommy, you're 100% right. I mean, just my own experience at Coils, we were open from 11 in the morning till 2 a.m., 7 days a week when we first opened. And we stayed that way for probably 15 years, maybe 12 years. But we were getting a double whack because Methuen and Lawrence were closing at 1. So all the people who had been out drinking that were at the end of their day were running up to drink it right on the line for last call. So it was it was torture for a number of years.
Bob, have you ever been to Kentucky's?
Oh, yeah, Kentucky.
We used to leave at 7 in the morning,
That was fun I raged, Bobby.
No, that's okay.
Well,
Hey,
all those places, Strogoffs and all those places that opened early in the morning.
yeah, Tom,
Bobby, we should swim away from using names.
okay.
Thank you.
My sister has a nonprofit. It's Project Compass next to Hafner's. She got a few places, Bob.
Great place.
And I'm wondering about the last year about fundraising, how have you done? And what's going on with this hockey stuff? This would be a pretty good time to throw something out about that.
Right. In all of the nonprofits, not just the Bridge Club, but Project Compass, and honestly, Ronnie does a great job. She's a great lady. But all of the nonprofits, to some degree, felt the sting of the federal and state cuts. The state cuts came obviously from the federal trickle down, but we thought we were going to be exempt. We thought we had gotten through it, and last minute funding, one of our programs got completely cut. So we lost like almost $500,000 in funding. That's a lot of money when you're talking about breaking that down into, $5,000 or $6,000 per person for emergency housing, type of thing, or a 30-day stay, or whatever the case might be. It turns out to be a lot of people that lose the ability to get benefits and resources. So the nonprofits, I think across the board, unless they're been around so long that they don't feel the crunch, are hurting. So I mean, the fundraising right now is extremely important for everybody. So what Bob had pointed to is the upcoming fundraiser, which is the reason that John was gracious enough to have me in this morning, is every year we bring the Boston Bruins alumni team comes up and plays a game for the Bridge Club at the Songus Arena. And that originally was organized through one of our board members, Derek Sanderson. I say board member tongue-in-cheek, Tommy, right? Because he never shows up, but that's all right. Peter and I had lunch with him on Saturday, and he's going to be here for the game. So it's unique this year. So when they first came in, we thought it would be interesting to team them up with one of the municipal hockey teams. All of the municipal, the firefighters, the police, the first responders, they all have hockey programs within. So the first year we played the Lowell Police Hockey Team. Second year we played the Middlesex Sheriff's Team. Third year the Fire Department. Fourth year police again. And then this being the fifth year, early on we were approached by an organization called the Boston Warriors. Never heard of them before. But they're a hockey program made up of disabled veterans. And they're national. There's a Warriors program pretty much that follows every NHL franchise. Some of them are closer to the teams than others. The Boston Warriors, for example, have never played the Bruins. So this is like their first foray into it. But some of the members of this team went down to Philadelphia to play against the Phillies with their affiliate team down there, the Warriors. So it's going to be interesting to have these guys on the ice. And
You got Derek Sanderson involved this time?
he's coming. He doesn't skate anymore.
No, okay. He's beautiful.
Yeah,
Maybe in the audience.
he's a piece of work. He is a piece of work, but boy, he'll tell you the stories.
So Bobby, if you can go over this slate that we're looking on the screen here, so the audience understands what we're talking about, the date, the time, the tickets.
Right. So it's actually a week from this coming Sunday. It's January 18th at 2 p.m. at the Songus Arena. If you're interested in tickets, there is a QR code on the flyer, or you can call the Songus directly at 978-934-5738, and that'll bring you right to the Songus ticket booth.
If you take your phone out of your pocket, walk over to your monitor and take a picture of this slide,
Yep.
you'll find it most helpful.
Bring you
Please
right to it.
proceed,
Those
Bob.
QR codes are amazing. But all tickets are handled through the Songus. There are no ticket sales at the Bridge Club or anywhere else. It's easier that way, and it's worked that way for the last number of years. So if they broke, don't fix it type thing. But it's interesting because the Bruins really get into it, and the alumni really, good group of guys. I mean, some of the names, especially the people sitting here now. I mean, Bob Sweeney is kind of, he's actually in charge of the Bruins Association, and their whole main focus is youth hockey, to promote youth hockey. But they play 30 games a year, and there's up to 50 people, members of the Bruins alumni. Borka's on there, Bergeron just went on. They don't all skate at the same, they don't all show up. It all depends who's available when, logistically, where they live and where the games are being played.
How about that guy, Pi McKenzie? I don't know his first name. Remember that?
Johnny McKenzie.
Yeah, he
He
was.
just passed away this
He
year?
passed away.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he passed away, so I guess I can say it, but he was in the program as well.
Really?
People locally used to see
Yeah.
him at meetings, along with Derek and a few other celebrity-type people, but obviously anonymity is pretty well protected. But, yeah, you see some great names. I mean, last year, Rick Smith, FedEx. But, yeah, Rick Smith was there last year. Some really, quality guys from the past. Kenny Linsman has been here every year.
How
Kenny
about,
Hodge.
Tom Bomo's favorite people, the Jarvis family? Have they been good to you over the years?
Yeah, Peter's been great. I mean, I can't say enough about Peter and family. I mean, they're the reason we are where we are as far as location.
Okay.
They took a chance at us, and they've been huge supporters ever since.
You're saying a bit about the parking lots coming up for the Golden Gloves.
Yep, that's true. The Golden Gloves is coming up starting this Thursday, and that's been a blessing in disguise. I mean, we can talk about that a little bit. Sign of the Jarvis family generosity. When we first moved in 2020, they had been using their own parking lot to charge for parking for auditorium events and giving it to nonprofits. When we moved in, we became the nonprofit of choice. So we've been able to benefit from that. And quite honestly, it was one of the reasons that kept us open during COVID. Because even though the crowds were very small, the gloves weren't even going on, but the minimal amount of activity that was happening at the auditorium kept the cash flow going at the Bridge Club. So, sometimes they say it takes a village, and it certainly did during that time period to be able to keep those doors open.
We were talking about growing up with all the bars. One of the things I think organizations like yours has done is just putting it out there, the problems that exist. And it's not about life ending, it's about recovery. It's about bringing someone into recovery and save that life. I know when I was with the union, with the post office, a lot of postmasters, I think all of them were great. Someone had an issue, you work with them, you don't suspend them, they take a leave, whatever, but you keep the job.
Yeah.
And the postmaster used to say, they have families. It's not an individual thing. They have insurance, they have paychecks, blah, blah, blah. And I think through organizations like this, the awareness that it's there, it's a sickness. And
It is.
I think that what you do turned a lot of this around.
The bar owners, and I can only speak for my own family, Gorham Tap, we bought that, my dad did, about 79 to 1988, I think it was. But we free poured. We were giving people like 3 ounces, 4 ounces of booze every drink, not realizing anything, trying to give them their money's worth. But it was amazing how much it's come a long way, but that's why bars have fallen out, because the rules are too strict. IDs, checking IDs.
Cisco, you got, I think, 7 messages here, so you want to read these, please?
Sure. The easiest way to defend the Democrats is to keep reminding people of Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. He was one step away from president. Gambling addiction is a real thing. I agree there. With it being there on everyone's mobile device, it can go bad quickly. Yeah, I think that's an issue that the state is not taking serious. We don't need gambling on cell phones. With marijuana being legal, most kids are doing that as opposed to drinking. No test for weed and driving. There is a test that's being worked on for that, I think. In regards to Maldonado, he promised a ton of free stuff to get the votes, which he did. He still will need federal help when things go bad in New York. I agree there.
Yep.
But if you are a newcomer, they have all the comforts of first-class living. Is that regards to the young kids? I think pick up on
Homeless.
home.
I think
Oh, the homeless,
Migrants.
the migrants. All right. Yeah, I mean,
Illegals.
that's an issue in the country right now, right? And rich people won't stay in New York. Still want to teach the youth to be rich. You still want our kids to be rich, succeed. That's just human nature. You want the next generation to do better than we did and learn from our mistakes, which is a good thing. I mean, you don't want to give them everything. That, I think, has turned up on us. They're very entitled kids out there right now that think they can do everything without paying a little sacrifice to get to the top. They want to be on top right on day one. But,
I wanted to add one last thing to owning bars, especially our bar. I say it was the most violent bar in Lowell. I worked there for 7 years at nighttime, 3 to 11 shift, or 3 to 2 in the morning, get out of there. I seen more violence in a bar with the booze than I did working in prison for 20 years. I mean it. That was just that bar. So it's not just, a sickness for certain things, but violence is part of alcohol. Oh, my God. It really is. It turns people. Some people just cannot drink. We all know one. We all know somebody. And, no, I'm just excited, Bob, because the bridge to me is one of the best things that I've ever seen happen.
Bobby, these 2 are yours to read.
All right. Good morning. I missed the first hour. Who is Bob's pick to be the next mayor? Well, I picked Danny Rourke, but something happened. I don't know what you mean by the next, after Eric. But anyways, the next one is good morning. Just curious, who do you all think sold out the most? Councilor Gitche and Robinson for voting Noon vice mayor, or Councilor Noon, McDonough and Duran for voting Gitche as mayor? Backroom deals and horse trading is alive and well in Lowell.
What did Belichick used to say? On to Cincinnati. Come on, let's on to the meeting tonight.
Yeah, I mean,
it's over. Let's go.
There's a meeting tonight. We'll be watching it.
but that's what you want from a group of people with different ideas, different
Lowell doesn't like
opinion.
that.
I
Lowell
mean,
doesn't
it's
like
a
no
give or
idea.
take, you know what I mean? And that's what you want. You want them to compromise. If not, we're gonna be, where the federal government is right now, with nothing being done at the Capitol. When's the last time something came out of the Capitol that's been agreed to,
Marty will tell you when we were like, I don't know the age, but Bobby or Phil Esposito, we all thought we could play hockey, okay? I played hockey, this is no lie, figure skates.
Yeah.
And they made me
Whatever you could
be
afford.
goalie. Couple of
We used to
pieces.
play right up here on the river near the
Oh.
train bridge,
Yeah,
And
unreal.
you had the lights on the highway you could play at night. So this is gonna be the 21st, is it, Bob?
No, this is the 18th.
18th.
Yeah, it's a week from this coming, 2 weeks from this past Sunday, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's a great family day, actually, and there's actually a family skate an hour before. Actually, it starts at 12, so if
Nice.
there's skate rentals, people can come down, rent some skates and get on the ice. Sometimes if some of the Bruins show up early, they'll go out with the kids.
I mean, it's a great, if you have a bunch of kids and they're all at the right age, get them together. I mean, for the money, you go into that arena and these kids don't know the difference between the Lowell Arena and the Garden down, is this still the Garden in the Boston Arena down where the Bruins play?
About the same size,
I mean-
ice rink.
I mean, it's affordable. It's a great time. I would make an effort to put it down on your calendars and bring out a large group of kids. Do something. Bring the neighborhood kids, a parent or two, and give the other parents a break. And they're safe there.
Can they give you a break on the rent down there,
For where?
the college?
No. We tried that. We had a little luck when Tommy Golden was on our board, but that was a while ago. Yeah, no, it's a business down there.
It is.
They run it pretty well, and
It's
treat
a
us fair.
state subsidized subsidy.
It's
State
an argument for a
subsidized.
different day, John. I'm with you. If I get it for free, I would. Trust
They
me.
got a hotel to build, okay?
Well, you gotta
Guess what?
embarrass these people and say, you know what, Marty Man wouldn't give it to us for free. End of story. Thank you, Marty, for nothing.
Yeah.
Well,
There's our return on that $1 sale.
All
See
I
that
wanna-
guy over there, his name's Bob Cox, he's
I
down there
wanna-
saving lives every day. What are you doing, Marty?
I want to stay on this
Marty Man, I
for
mean.
just a second there, Cisco.
Bobby Cox. Bobby, I hope that, you probably should hope that the Patriots lose this Sunday night, because you might be hindered by your attendance if they're playing that following Sunday in a playoff game.
Good point, Tommy. Good point. I'm still not rooting against the Patriots, though.
They could be playing the following Saturday night, though. Now they're
that's true,
doing
too.
Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah.
Now, Bobby, would you give me your opinion? Do you think Bomil shaved today?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. I mean, there's a little
Yeah.
fuzz on the top of his head anyway.
Worse. Now it's getting worse.
I don't think he shaved. That's a,
I just want to know where they got him locked up. He looks like he's locked up in some
My
room
wife's
somewhere.
office. My wife's office.
You know what's exciting, too, is we're going to be having the
My wife's office. Look at
disabled veterans.
Oh, that was nice, Bob.
Disabled Veterans House are going to be coming to the game,
Oh, good.
and I'll sit about that, too.
Well, good hockey school, ULO, the kids, the students, I wonder if you'd draw any of them in. That'd be a nice thing. But they don't want to pay the money probably, but I don't know. It's a great hockey school, I know that.
Tommy, they're still asking, are you wearing pants?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look at that. That's awesome. That's so funny.
And I just want to mention something about Bobby Cox and being on the board of directors of the Bridge Club. It seems there isn't a meeting that doesn't go by every month that he's a magician. He finds this money. I don't know where he finds it.
Yeah.
Man, they should probably make him the city manager. I'm telling you, he's just
Yeah.
he's always coming. I found this money. I found that money. He's a magician.
Let's look at him today. That's why he's not here. Are you on some kind of drugs or something?
Oh, that's awesome.
What are you talking about?
That's the other one.
No, Tommy, honestly, it's great having you, and we have a strong board of directors. Boy, I'll tell you what, we're very, very blessed. We have Tommy, Susan Rourke, Karen Frederick, Rita Mercia, Paul Belay, Robert Boley from Shonda Credit Union, Tommy Shanahan. Some quality people that,
Yeah.
just.
Is
they're not afraid
Lee,
to
is Lee
work.
get you on your board? Lee?
Lee's He had to take like a leave of absence
Okay.
because he was running into some, he had some job changes or something like that. There was some kind of a management change that his hours got changed or something like that. So Lee's still involved, but he's right now, like Derek, he's kind of on.
Bob, any
honorary.
updates on the project on Pawtucket Street? Where are we standing with that?
I'm glad you asked.
Let's talk
as
about
of-
that. We're
as
excited
of-
about that.
As of Friday, we had soft approval from the local Rockland Trust. We're waiting for the regional to sign off, and we're hoping to close by the 15th.
All
Hoping
right.
to close the morning of the 15th, so we can walk into the board meeting with the keys to the building at 12:30 that day. That's what I'm hoping.
I didn't get to your grand opening on the corner of Fayette and East Merrimack. How's that thing going?
That thing's going great. We've got 14 out of 15 beds full right now. These are homeless veterans. This is a good story, because these are really, literally homeless veterans that had no place to be, that are getting 3 meals a day, a roof over their head, 24-hour-a-day supervision, behavioral health and mental health treatment if needed, transportation to appointments. We try to get them started on the job search, vocational training if they want it. And this is a beautiful, if this comes together, if this, I don't really care what people think about what I'm saying here, but if this isn't God putting this plan together, I can't imagine what else it could be. Because in a perfect world, someone could be coming out from the street, going into 147 East Merrimack Street for a 90-day program, and in another month could be moving to a permanent housing solution on Pawtucket Street.
Yeah.
And that building is like something right out of the Titanic. That thing is absolutely gorgeous.
In a great location. You got the supermarket right down the street. You got places for people to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you're right. The location's great. Bus line, everything's walking distance if they need it. But the inside of the building is really amazing, because I'll tell you, the nuns must have had OCD like really bad, because you could eat off the floor in that place. I mean, they weren't even in there for almost 2 years, and they still had somebody coming in and cleaning every week. They never shut the utilities off, the heat, and everything's up to code. So it's turnkey just about. We're super excited about this, super excited.
Well, we talk about there's a couple of things, the culinary program you've started down there, and also the program, the story you told me about. I think it was obviously a former alcoholic or drug addict that got to turn his life around. He ended up at Jarvis as a mechanic.
Yep, that's one of the veterans came in that was living at the Crescent House. Came in looking for a job and found out he had some automotive experience. So we have a hire a vet program, and actually, if anyone's listening, they have a business and they're willing to hire a veteran as an apprentice. It doesn't really matter what the occupation is. We can tailor fit the apprenticeship program so that we'll supplement the hourly rate for up to 90 days. We'll give you $10 an hour towards the hourly rate, providing you match it to give them a minimum of a $20 an hour rate for 90 days. Gives you a good look at somebody, whether their skill sets match your needs. And that exact thing happened with a gentleman named Kevin, who ended up he had some experience at a dealership in the South Shore. Jarvis scooped him up and was being trained as a Ford certified mechanic. Now he's running the parts department, I think, at the Kia dealership over there. So those opportunities exist. And Tommy, you mentioned the culinary program. But a couple of our early graduates from the culinary program, one of them was running the kitchen at Mount Pleasant right up until they closed, for the season. He's actually working now at Coils. And there's other people working. So one of them's working at Primo's, and those apprenticeship programs exist in the culinary field as well.
Is Mike Riley part of that still?
Michael runs it, and he's actually meeting him today at 2:30. We have another class starting up. We're trying to fill it with strictly veterans, but we have a class starting, I believe, on the 20th of this month.
I'm a veteran. I might go down just to bust Mike's, back chops.
Do that,
Yeah. Do you know if he owns a restaurant in Westford?
He doesn't. I don't own it, but he and his wife run. Is it Summer? What's the name of that housing complex on the lake out there? I want to say Summer Village, I think.
Oh, the old Wyman's Beach?
Wyman's Beach, yeah. I think
yeah.
it's called Summer Village.
Oh, okay.
But they run there's a restaurant there in the clubhouse. It's beautiful, actually. And they manage that during the season when it's open.
Oh, I'll get out
They
there.
close October 1st.
Yeah, great guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wyman's, I think Bobby and I used to ride our bikes out there with a bunch of kids
How
from
about,
the area.
how about Dave Nagel? He's still involved at all at your place?
Dave not. Dave went on to something else. I'm not exactly sure what he's doing right now, but he went on to something else, and I believe he's doing something with the gambling for the
Yeah,
state.
gambling, he's working with gambling.
It's working for you. I don't know the name of the organization, but I just heard about it a couple of weeks ago. And I guess that gave him his change of mind about running for the Senate seat. This is a pretty good opportunity for him, with his forte,
Yep.
dealing with. So.
You know,
Absolutely.
it's sad, you're talking about gambling. The state put so much money into promoting gambling. I think they cut the budget last year for the, I could be wrong, but I thought they talked about cutting the budget for the people who need help, to advertise that. It's a shame if they did, but hey.
Well, it's ironic. I mean, they have the Keno screen, and they have if you need help gambling,
That's what I
running across the
Yeah.
scroll.
that's what I thought about when I saw
After
it,
they
you
take
know?
all your money.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
it's,
true. It is true. But
Lowell has a lot of people that donate a lot of money toward different things, that's
Oh.
for sure. We're
Yeah.
we're a giving area, I've seen it. I just look at, my brother runs the maintenance at the YMCA in Lowell here, and they got a brand-new gym floor put all around the place, how much could that cost? And that comes from the Donahue family, Mrs. Donahue, and that's just one thing she's done, but
That's why I fear for organizations like yours. You've seen a lot of companies in Lowell close over the years. A lot of these benefactors, there's not many of them left. Most of the money has left the city. The people have moved on to other areas. And there's only really, considering how many companies there used to be in the Lowell, there's only a few left. But they are generous to a fault, like Bobby says, and my fear is the day when they move on. Who
Right.
takes over? Because
Right.
organizations like yours, like I said, we grew up in an area where, alcohol and this and that, but now it's about recovery, and you've learned that people can go into programs like yours and they recover, and they live lives, normal lives.
that's what it's about too, is making sure that the resources are there. Bob, something there that did your heart, that people coming through reentry after jail, making sure those people, because actually Marion Ryan had stated a fact back in like 2018 when I first met her, that over 93 or 94% of the people who are incarcerated are there due in part to a drug or alcohol-related
Right.
offense.
Right.
And if you look at it, and you break down the offenses that most people are in there, you go across the whole scope, domestic, murder, you name it, theft, bank robbery, right across the board. Something is underlying behind that's causing that to happen. To feed a habit, you need the money to support an alcohol or drug habit.
I only did 20 years in a state prison, Concord. I didn't do 32. But in 20 years, you can learn quite a bit. And I surveyed and questioned a lot of inmates in my life, and almost every one of them come from a divorced family, separated family, and alcohol and drugs and all that other. But the majority, very seldom would I run into an inmate that had a mother and father living with them, Very seldom. It's a big issue.
We talked about the hockey event in a couple of weeks, and actually in less than about 2 short months, we'll be having our St. Patrick's Day breakfast again.
Yes, we do. And actually, we can announce we're honoring this year Jay Lenahan. Just talked to him yesterday. He's recuperating from pretty severe back surgery. But yeah, Jay's excited, and so are we. I mean,
It's a big event we have.
Yeah, a great guy.
What's he in charge of? The
Greater Lowell
money.
Community Foundation.
Gives a lot of money out, especially to low high students.
Yeah.
Graduation.
There's another family, you're talking about families in the city, who was given back, the Lenahan family.
Oh,
His
yeah.
brothers, they were on the different boards, a fantastic family.
Yeah, Jay's a great
He
guy.
was passed over. I'm correct. Was he passed over for Middlesex Community College president? Was that one time?
Yeah.
I'm talking about, that's what I
Yeah,
thought.
big mistake the state made with that, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what brought him to Greater Lowell Community Foundation. So the Community Foundation certainly benefited from that.
One of the things you mentioned earlier, very impressed with, when you hear people with alcohol or drug, they go away and you might get 30 days, and I was always told you need much longer. You were saying when they go into one of the homes, they get 90 days to live there?
Well, it's two separate things. I mean, that's a sober home
Yeah.
environment. That's part of a grant narrative that we put together that we would ask money from a grantor.
Right.
As part of our, what resources we could offer someone getting out of jail, for example. The 30-day program, that's the recovery aspect of it.
Yeah.
But post the 30-day, via CSS program, which is Clinical Stabilization
Right.
Services, people go in and they're under some type of minimal medical care oversight, if you will, during detox and then during their recovery period. And then 30 days seems to be the benchmark that everybody seems to use. The detoxes, you can see a 5 or 7 day detox. We call them spin dries.
Right.
Generally, it's not enough time for someone to really, maybe it could sober their system up, but it doesn't get their mind into the
Right.
habit
observation
of not
they
living.
need.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, old habits are tough to break. It's like anything else, and it's you do something for so long, especially when it's being prompted by drugs or alcohol. You have that urge, that desire, that need.
You're gonna fall off.
Substance.
Most people fall off the cliff at least once or twice.
Yeah.
But the majority, I think meetings is huge, talking in front of other alcoholics. I've watched those things. The meetings, if you consistently go to them, they definitely help people. They can get that at your place, correct?
Yeah, see, that's our mainstay. I mean, everything else that we do, honestly, all the programs we run, is a means to an end. The means being the revenue it's required to keep the doors open for people in recovery. That's the basic line. I mean, we are still an addiction recovery center. That's what we do. The veterans are an add-on, a big add-on, obviously, but the job opportunities with Amazon, the connection with Amazon, it's all stuff that fell out of the sky.
We always hear about angels and religion and the angels, guardian angels.
Mm-hmm.
To me, having worked in the post office and just in life in general, is the sponsors with the programs like this.
Mm-hmm.
People that bring people in, they sponsor them and they work with them through the years. They're angels. To me, they're really angels, and they have an opportunity with a location like this to just do great work.
That's the brilliance of the programs, not to get technical or too much
Right.
involved here, but the brilliance of AA or NA is that it's built around service, right? So, I mean, people found out early in life, back in 1935, when AA first came into existence out in Ohio, they came to the conclusion that, I can help someone else. If I'm helping somebody else, I'm not worrying about my own problems. And that's where an alcoholic or an addict struggles the most, when they're in their own head. And to be worrying about your own self, and that's always about being selfish. And once you're not thinking about yourself and taking care of what you need or want, and you're helping somebody else, that's the brilliance, that's the magic of what happens in these halls. You get people that are all banged up, they're coming in off the street, and all of a sudden they're finding somebody they're looking at saying, that guy's worse than me. And that now they extend a hand, a helping hand, to try to help that person, and the whole outlook changes, and it's the magic. It's the glue. It's really that holds the program together as service. It's really something to watch. It really is something to watch.
Marty, you want to read this one?
We all know the state is corrupt and mismanaged. What keeps us here? Just a question.
I know what keeps me here, the Merrimack Valley. Seriously, the people.
Yeah.
Surrounding towns of Lowell. I love this
Well,
place.
think of it. It's freezing out. There's a bunch of snow out there, and we're still here. No, I think it's the connection with the community. And think of all the stuff that we have access to that's within a short drive. When I was out stationed in California, the supermarket was a 45-minute ride. You know what I mean? And it's I think it's a great place to live.
30 miles away from the best hospitals in the world.
Yeah.
You can change it. You got to go out and vote. You got to work for people and find people to run, good people. As I said earlier, the Democrat Socialists work very hard at getting the delegates and going to the convention. They're on the phones. They're doing drops. They do the work. So, if you want things to change, you got to go out and at least vote. 8,000 people voted in the city last year. Go out, get, at least vote, and vote for change.
Let's go over this slide one more time, Bob.
Sure. Upcoming Bridge Club fundraiser brings the Boston Bruins alumni against the Boston Warriors Sunday, January 18th at 2 o'clock at the Sanger Center in Lowell. And it's to benefit the Bridge Club of Greater Lowell. These are Bruins alumni, former NHL players. Some of the names, you know, some of them you don't, but you never know who's going to show up. Zeno Chara was scheduled last year to play, he didn't come, but there's some Dave Silk, some names from the past that are really superstars for the Bruins that really stand out.
Chara started his career at the Saugus. He played for the Lock Monsters.
Did he?
I used to
didn't
work
know
there.
that.
I used to work there doing security, and the Lock Monsters had 2 6'8" defensemen, and one was Chara.
No, I didn't know that.
I got his bobblehead. I got one of his bobbleheads.
Was it like 8 feet tall?
Yeah, he's a big boy.
But no, he was a Bruin. I mean, he was a Lock Monster.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow. That was a great program.
Yeah, it really was.
That was a great program.
And I used to enjoy working there. Because you know most of the people coming in.
Have you seen the women's hockey, the PW?
Never saw it.
It was on TV the other night, and I was channel surfing, and the game was on. It was being broadcast from the Sanger, so I stopped and watched. Those girls didn't skate.
Well, some of them
Holy
are good.
moly.
They have the college games. And
Yeah.
now it's an Olympic sport, so they do have an Olympic team, which
Yeah.
is this year. But those girls are good.
Yeah.
Boston's had them
Well,
for
I mean,
years.
do they fight the girls? I've watched them.
I don't know, Tom, but you could probably
Guy in the
instigate-
closet wants to know if the girls are fighting.
Even high school hockey though around this district, Tewksbury's always really good. Lowell's up and down, but hockey is a big sport.
Lowell had one of the best high school coaches in the state is Acadian, and now he's at Lowell Catholic.
Okay.
But when I had season tickets to UMass Lowell, I used to go to different arenas, and Holy Cross was trying to build its program to try to come up to around Hockey East, and the name I heard was always Occasion. He was the first Division I hockey player out of Lowell that I can remember, and he went to Holy Cross. His dad was Bruce Occasion, and very, very good.
Hey, before we run out of time, I've got requests to put this up one more time. So take your fancy phone out of your pocket, take a picture of this. For those folks that are asking me to put it on the air again, the top part is the mayor's election. The first vote's to the left, the second vote's to the right. And when they voted for the mayor yesterday, Sakari Chow voted for Danny Rourke both times. John Dakota voted for Danny Rourke both times. Eric Gitchia voted for Vesna Noon, then he voted for himself. Belinda Duran voted for Eric Gitchia both times. Sidney Lang voted for Vesna Noon, and then Eric Gitchia. Sean McDonough voted for Gitchia both times. Rita Mercier voted for Rourke both times. Vesna Noon voted for himself the first time, Gitchia the second time. Corey Robinson voted for Gitchia both times. Danny Rourke voted for himself both times. Kim Scott voted for Danny Rourke twice. And then for the vice mayor, Sakari Chow voted for Dakota. Dakota voted for Dakota. Gitchia voted for Noon. Duran voted for Noon. Liang voted for Noon. McDonough voted for Noon. Mercier voted for Dakota. Noon voted for himself, for Noon. Corey Robinson voted for Noon. Danny Rourke voted for Dakota, and Kim Scott voted for Dakota. So we can see on this what Marty Lorrey was talking about. There's already sides formed.
That's huge. Usually the vice mayor, after the mayor's vote, whoever wants to be vice mayor just steps into it. You just voted. That split right there shows you the split of the oncoming council.
It sure does.
That's 7-4.
Good
And
point.
When
Just
you
wanna bring
look
that
at that vice mayor's usually, yeah, I'll take it. That split there is what you're going to see over the next.
Cisco.
Yeah.
I've never seen what was I going to say about as far as the mayor's race and the split vote. You never know how it's going to change, and things could change now. Like Marty said, he's been saying it for a long time. The 7-4 votes. as our friend, the late great Ned Tarmey used to say, Johnny Dakota probably has Irish Alzheimer's. He's not going to forget. A lot of those people aren't going to forget.
Never
Yeah.
forget.
But you know what I love? Surprise, surprise, surprise. We got surprised yesterday, no doubt about it. I think
Well,
it's,
we actually talked about this about a month ago. You heard rumors there could be a double cross or a change or, something like that. And I remember you talking about that on the show, and you were right.
Yeah. I didn't hear about it till over the weekend. I heard of a shifting alliances, shifting votes. Maybe Vesna knowing it was no road to become mayor. And so, I think Vesna and Eric, what they represent is change. And a lot of people wanted change. We saw that in the election, 3 new councilors. And I think they united to at least put someone in who will maybe direct change. That's how I'm seeing it right now.
I see Manager Golden riding on cobblestone streets only. No more smooth road for that guy.
Yeah, I think that Bobby Hoey said that earlier. The big change, the big factor was that the city manager lost his pull with the councilors. He's the big loser in yesterday's vote. I agree
They
with
always
that.
are.
I mean,
The manager's always the biggest.
before we get to Bobby Cox, there's a few people that deserve a attaboy. One would be Mike Lally from the Lowell Cemetery, the way he sung at that thing yesterday.
What a voice.
He was unbelievable. Yesterday, he was unbelievable. He done the national anthem, then he sang "God Bless America," and that was outstanding. What a
He's buried
job!
more people than Johnny McDonough.
Yeah,
When he's
well,
singing at the churches.
and then the
Years ago, thanks to John McDonough, Mike Lally sang at my brother's funeral. It just moved the place. The place was in tears. I'm telling you how he can move a church with his singing.
yeah, it was unbelievable. And the Lowell Police Honor Color Guard, excuse me, and the ROTC out of Lowell Color Guard.
The honor guard, yeah.
Honor Guard, I'm sorry. They just represent, and it was awesome. It was a great day. It was a good show.
And I'm with Bobby and the location. I don't mind the Lowell Auditorium. I think they're going to make
No,
it better. I think they
I-
can bring in the mics. I think because the number of councilors that we have and the number of people involved with that ceremony.
Cisco, it's embarrassing to me for people to call my cell phone during a meeting and say, tell LTC to turn up the mics. I don't do anything. LTC kicked me off the board, okay?
Yeah.
LTC does not want change. And it's up to this incoming city council to decide whether they're gonna keep funding them or get rid of them like Tewksbury did.
Yeah.
Put someone on the board who will start holding their feet to the fire.
Marty, there's 35 people on the board.
No, but I mean
I
from the
was on the
council.
board. You're lucky if they take it. I got my hand up. They don't call on you.
A lot of them aren't even from Lowell.
It's a democratic organization. If you're not a Democrat, no need to show up for anything. That's my takeaway on LTC. And LTC needs a good kick in the wallet by the city council.
How
Piss
many
poor
people on that board
Where
aren't
was-
even living in the city?
Where was the microphones yesterday? How they set up all these, the guy who set the thing up had to know these people were gonna talk.
Yeah.
What the hell was wrong with LTC yesterday? Oh, we didn't know. You can't be that stupid anymore.
John, it was the same thing 2 years ago. I remember watching Danny Rook's inauguration.
Oh,
You
really?
couldn't hear it. You could not hear it.
You know, the sad part is the people watching or the people attending have an interest in that. And they're listening to those votes. And if they can't hear those votes, it's pretty darn bad.
Well, the other
because
thing I get phone calls about, Marty, is they can't hear it. Even the regular, they'll call me up watching City Life. Hey, I can't hear your show on LTC. Well, go watch it on YouTube. You can hear it perfect on YouTube.
Yeah.
But the audio levels LTC have are way too low for their programs.
I've always had a,
Marty and I talked about it earlier. City Hall is well equipped. They have a great sound system in there.
Yeah.
If you watch the school committee inauguration yesterday, it was perfect, and they could do the same thing. They did it for years. I don't know why they changed it. I didn't see an enormous crowd there yesterday from what I saw. So I mean, every council I think gets to invite. I don't know how many sit in the front area,
Right.
but yeah. So
Well,
we'll work with Eric on that one when he comes up.
Tell me the problem with it, and I've been there, on the LTC side, I've been there on the personal side, watching people get sworn in. People won't leave. The key to it is you swear the school committee in first, and you swear them at 9:30, and you swear the city council in at noontime. End of story. So the school committee gets their stuff, you swear in the city council at noontime, an after lunch thing. Why not do it that way? Because when you have the city council and it's over, and you try to kick the city council attendees out of the room, they won't leave. I'm entitled. I know the mayor. I know the manager. I know the police chief. I'm the police chief's daughter. Stuff like that. How do you kick those people out? You can't. Time is short, Cisco.
It's a public building, you shouldn't have to kick anyone out, really.
No, I mean, I thought they had a good crowd over at the Lower Memorial Auditorium. They had a lot of folks.
Leave it the way it is. Put some microphone. LTC, bring all your mics, all of them. Put them all in a cardboard box and bring them all over there next time.
Yeah, I mean.
To Tommy's point, though, I think one of the reasons why they may have changed is there's more city councilors now. It used to be 9 councilors, and now what is it, 12?
11.
11. So,
We'll never get anything done if we had 12. It'd be 6-6.
But that might have been part of the reason why they
No, I think that's the main reason, is that there is a larger council and they need more room for their family. It's a big day for their family. There was a lot of family members there supporting each counselor. So, I mean.
Celebrate like you did yesterday, because it's all downhill from here.
Yeah, I know.
A quick question for Bobby Cox. The big nonprofit in Lowell, the biggest would probably be Community Teamwork, CTI.
I think Lowell General.
What? Well, yeah, that I'm talking about just a different type of nonprofit. And I'm curious if they give you any help.
CTI?
Yeah.
CTI helps us with emergency housing. They've got resources that are.
Bobby, lean into the microphone a little bit, please.
Sure. CTI helps us with emergency housing. Mostly is what we need from them. They've got not unlimited resources, but they're tapped into a lot of areas that we're not. So when we have hard cases or somebody from the temporary housing that we're able to supply are coming to the end of their term and they're looking for a more stable and long-term solution, we'll go to CTI, ask for, if they can get into a raft program or something like that. So, yes, the answer to your question is CTI has been great to work with. Obviously, Karen is on our board as well, so hopefully communication is there.
She's one of the most remarkable people I've ever met.
2 minutes.
Most definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Most definitely. Very fortunate to have her.
And I've always had a little bit of criticism for LTC, only with the schools because of different issues. I don't want to get into that. But I believe they're so big that they can choose who they want to help. That's all. And I think if all the nonprofits get together, go to this hockey thing and buy a ticket to it, I think that helps spread the word through the nonprofits. So I know my sister watches this show because she wants me to say Project Compass once or twice.
We're still looking for sponsors. It's kind of a cool thing too with the song, is the way they handle it. The sponsors, each sponsor gets broadcast on the Sunrise School Board. It's pretty amazing when you see your name, your company name or whatever up on the school board, with the Bruins logo. It's pretty impressive. So, I know that was a gratuitous attempt at
we got a few minutes here. Let's remind everyone.
It's close enough to last year where you can date a check December 24th and send it to the Bridge Club.
Absolutely. Take advantage of tax deduction.
We don't look at the dates on the checks.
We are a 501c3 fully, you're right.
Well, good luck. Good luck to you, Bob. I hope everything goes good, man.
Appreciate the support. Thank you. Appreciate the time, too, being here.
So, again, it's going to be Sunday, almost 2 weeks from today, January 18th at 2 p.m., Songus Arena, Lowell. It's a family event, so get those kids together. Have one parent bring them, if you want to buy the tickets, I'm going to say Bobby Hoey would be the supervisor, the chaperone. So if you have like 20 kids you want to get rid of, I just volunteered. Bobby Hoey will be there.
I got a Corey check. I have a Corey check.
And you know something? I wouldn't do that to you, Bobby. I'd join you too. Bobby and I, you get us 20 kids to go out that day. We'll supervise them for the day. You guys can go and have a dinner with your loved one somewhere else. We'll watch the kids.
So we're going off the air. Now we're just on Facebook and YouTube.
Oh, good.
And Drake it.
And Drake it.
All right.
So say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, folks.
Take care, everyone.
Have a great
Guys,
day.
it's great doing this on Zoom. Thank you. Hope I'm feeling better next week.
Shave, Tom.
Yeah, shave and put your pants on.
Bobby Hoey,
Yes.
I think Cisco's trying to steal our host job away from us, but he did a good job today.
I believe one thing.
I'm going back to the other seat. You guys can have the
No,
seat. Too much work over here.
See you next week.
I hope we can keep Marty around, that's for sure. Marty and
Thanks,
Cisco,
Marty.
How you been?
that's
Good
it.
next week.
Feeling okay?
Retired?
Yeah.
Yeah.